everybody, and welcome to our YouTube channel. We are, as always, your hosts, ARNE CARLOS, and today we are here with Astrid, the very beautiful floral crochet throw that we released in 2020, very colorful, which represents our garden. And a lot of people have been getting this pattern and they're loving to crochet the flowers, but we have understood that lots and lots of people are having some difficulties joining them. So we thought we're gonna do a tutorial and show you how to join the flowers.
Because this is actually very easy when you know how to do it. So please look at the chart. If you read the pattern, look also at the chart that we make, because then it's even easier. Because if you made a few flowers, you don't have to read anymore because you have it in writing or in drawing just in front of you. So it's actually easier.
Yeah, so we want to say this, and a lot of people that work with patterns, they read the written instructions. And it seems to us that most of you guys see those written instructions as some sort of a safety blanket. If you focus a lot on the written instructions, you will succeed. The thing with crochet patterns is that we love charting them as well. When we chart a pattern and show you in the chart how to connect the flowers, how to make the blanket, you get an overview of the entire project. And it is actually much, much easier for you to visualize the pattern if you look at the chart. So I would warmly recommend that when you are working on this design and when you're working on the throw, just throw away those written instructions for 5-10 minutes. Just get rid of them, don't think about it, and just look at the chart. And as Arne said, if you've already crocheted 12 of these, you know how they are done, and all you need to do is just focus on that chart. Look at it, try to visualize it, try to understand how the flowers are connected. I promise, 5-10 minutes, you're gonna get a eureka moment, and you are gonna know exactly how it works. And remember, we also add this kind of a thing to the charts, which is a legend, and it's got all the different symbols that we use in the chart with the terms in both UK and US.
Yeah, because if you read it, it's written in English, American English.
US English, yes.
US English. So if you read it and you read English, you will have a strange flower.
Yeah.
So remember that written text is in English. US English, crochet language, but on the symbols we explain both, both the English and the UK.
Oh, sorry, UK English and US English. And because this chart this legend is so useful, we ourselves are going to keep it right next to us because we tend to mess up the crochet terms. We mix them always, but now even we have a little safety blanket here.
I think crochet language is so difficult because some of the words are so close to Norwegian, but they mean other things if you translate them into Norwegian.
Yeah.
But it's very confusing.
It is. So anyway, the biggest tip that we could possibly give you is to try to look at the chart, try to visualize it, think about it, study it, forget about the written instructions for a little while.
And just crochet.
Now, if that's difficult for you, we understand. Then it's perfect that we have Arne here to show you.
Or you have to go to their house, to people's house, and knock on the door.
Oh, yeah.
Say, hey,
hello,
I'm here. Well, we can't travel anymore. So we do it now.
So now the biggest question, Arne, is going to be, are you going to do this really fast or are you going to do this really slow?
I will do it really slow.
Okay, good.
But before you start crocheting them together, you need a pile of flowers because it's always nice to have all of the flowers before you start. And for this throw, you have to crochet the last round on the flower, and then you start crocheting them together. So it's crocheted together on the last round.
Okay.
This is almost like the primrose.
So literally what you're saying is that, say that I've got these two flowers. Now, in order to join them, I need to do that round here first.
On the first one. And
then when I do the round on this one, they connect.
That's when you connect.
And is it like a puzzle? Do they go?
They go
pretty much like this?
Pretty much like that together.
And then there would be, so there would be two going like that, and then the third one would be going,
like that.
there we go.
Puzzle.
So it's easy.
Yeah. So I try to do it
and
slow.
a lot of fun.
So now I start with the first flower. So I start in the holes between those petals. So we don't crochet in the stitches, we crochet around.
Mm-hmm.
So first you need a chain.
And how many do you chain?
Four? There's one single crochet and then 3 chains, but some people call it 4 chains, but in real it's actually a single crochet,
Single crochet and 3 chains.
3 chains.
Okay.
And then 2 times on the needle you go in the neighboring opening, like next to the next petal.
Yes.
And then you make the treble, I think it's called.
Yeah, the American treble.
The American treble, which is English double.
English is a UK double treble.
Double treble. And then you chain 4. And now you work on top of the petal. So that means you work around a chain that is in between these groups of trebles.
Okay.
No. Yeah, trebles in English. And then you do a single crochet and you do 3. And then you go back with the slip stitch. So this is like a picot or a picot or a mouse ear.
Oh,
or
very cool.
Call it something. And then 1, 2, 3, 4.
So that little picot there, is that where you're gonna crochet the next one in?
They all meet in the
picots?
picots.
Oh, very cool. Very
so it's
cool.
actually very easy.
Yeah. So you said in the beginning that you were going to go very slow. Now I can just imagine our
but
viewers
I can do
saying,
it slower because I just forgot the picot.
Oh, okay, so you go back.
So I go back and I...
But as I was saying, you said you were going to do it...
I can't talk and do things at the same time.
Yeah.
So
anyway, what I was going to say was that you said you're going to be going slowly, and I'm sure a lot of our viewers are now saying, oh, that's not slow. And yeah, maybe if you don't feel as it is slow enough, there's always that little wheel with the little teeth on it. That's your settings. And if you click on that, you can adjust the speed so that we can go super fast or really slow if you like.
But now I'm going slow.
Okay, so you're doing the chains.
The chain.
How many are you doing?
4.
4 chains, and then
Then I go in between the 2 groups of trebles.
And do a single crochet.
And then I chain 3.
Chain 3.
And then you make a slip stitch in the beginning.
In the beginning, that creates the picot.
Yes, and then 4 more.
And those 4 kind of, when you crochet them, are they gonna go? They're gonna kind of rest on top of the petal. Is that?
The 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like...
They're just lying there on top of the petal, and then you go down and you do a...
Yeah, because you're making like...
a treble.
Because when you crochet them together, everything pops in place.
Yeah.
But you need these picots, or mouse ears.
Because you're gonna attach...
Because you're gonna attach the other flower later.
Inside the picot, probably with a single crochet.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this is how we like to join flowers and everything that is crocheted. Actually, I don't like to sew crochet things together. I like to crochet things together. I don't know why. But
I love this particular design. The joining is really nice because it looks like stitching, like some sort of not stitching, but you know what I mean. The flower is not round because it's got sharp edges. It's like hexagons, right?
it changes actually because when you have the flowers like this, it's more round. But when you start joining them, you get this extra little. What you call that again? It's like...
Yeah, it's like a hexagon actually,
yeah.
and then they kind of glide in like a honeycomb or something.
Yeah,
it's very pretty.
So, and if you print out the drawing of the
You mean the chart?
The chart of and try to compare the colors that we suggested, you will have a problem because it's almost impossible to get exactly the same shade when you work in Illustrator as it is on the yarn. because we work from a color card when we pick colors normally. And so don't be disappointed if the yarn you have and the color on the chart
are slightly different.
Are slightly different, because that happens.
Well, textiles, when you have colors on textiles, you can't compare it to colors on paper even. I mean,
No.
they're just so different. Because the textiles and the yarns take dye differently than a print of a on paper.
Yeah.
With
So-
ink, yeah.
So you just work your way around the first flower.
Always doing the same procedure.
Same
You're doing
everywhere.
You're doing two trebles next to each
Two
other.
trebles next to each other, a picot,
And some
a
chains.
chain. And that's all you need.
That's very easy, actually.
Oh, I'm too quick again? Or-
Yeah, but you've just explained it. So what I'm looking forward to now is seeing what the flower will look like with all the different rounds finished, including the beginning of the edging. As we said, it would look more like a hexagon in shape, and then it will be easier to connect it.
So it takes a little while to come around, but I can go a little bit quicker maybe.
Yeah, I think
But you
because
see,
now
it's
we've
coming.
explained it.
You see now the shape is changing a little bit compared to this one, because you have that.
Why don't you point or use the hook to? So you've got two trebles there, a picot.
Two trebles, a picot, a chain, a single crochet, a picot, and a single and a chain and 4 chains. No, a slip stitch and then,
Yeah.
I mix up all this language. This just watch me. 3 and a slip stitch, and then 2 times on the needle, which is a treble in American English, and a double treble
in UK.
in
Yes.
UK.
I've got my cheating notes next to
Yeah,
me.
you need that for this one. 3. So I can show you when we join the first flower. And now, sometimes when I do the crochet like this, sometimes it goes so quick. So sometimes maybe if I should have a chain with 4, sometimes I maybe do 5. But like, you don't look for it in the throw anyway, so it makes no big difference if you have one more somewhere, because sometimes that happens. So then you finish the first flower. So then I do the last 4, and then I go in top of the first treble, which is like the 4th of the chain or the 3rd chain, and I do a slip stitch. There you go.
Oh, nice.
So you need, this is what you need to start. So now when you do the last round on the next flower, that's when these meets, and then they meet like this.
It looks to me like they're going to meet 3 times.
3 times for this one.
So 2 flowers will meet 3 times in this straight line here, which is the picot, the chain, the picot, the chain, the picot. Very cool. I like that. So if I am guessing, if I've never done this before and I'm going to guess, so where you've done the picot on one, when you join on the other, you do a slip stitch?
No, where you join, you do, instead of a picot, you do one chain, and then a
single crochet,
around the picot, and then a chain.
Okay.
So it's like this. So first one like that, then 1 chain, then you go to the picot, and it has to be on the petal like this and this meet, don't in between. And then you go in the picot, you do a single crochet around the picot,
and then a chain up,
and you chain 1, and then you go back where it came from, and you do a slip. this.
Okay, and then you do your 3.
Or you can do a single crochet if you prefer, it doesn't matter.
And then you do your chains again.
Yeah.
And then you go down.
And I do the treble and 1, and then you join with in the picot that is between the petals on top of the trebles, and you go in there and you make 1 single crochet, you chain 1, and then you go back where you came from and you do a slip stitch in top of the first treble like that, and then you do the last treble of those 2.
Very cool.
And then you chain over to the next petal. You do a single crochet between the 2 groups of 4, which makes the petal. Chain 1. You go to the one you're joining and you make a single crochet in the picot. You chain 1 and you go back where it came from and you do a slip stitch.
Okay, so now if you put that down on the table...
I chain this first, then you can see it.
So now, what I'm thinking and what I'm loving is the fact that when you're done and you put that down on the table, then it's really fun, because then I suppose you continue on this one a little bit and then...
You finish this one.
Yeah, and then when you're going to join the third one, you have to work out exactly where it's going to be.
Yeah, then you see this one will meet in these 2. And then...
It'll meet in both sides.
This 2.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have this there and you have this there. Yeah. It's like a puzzle. Yeah. It's exactly like a puzzle. And this is what makes these projects so much fun.
So it's so easy.
And then you just have to kind of keep putting those clusters together as you go.
Yeah.
And can you do them in a straight row if you like? Or can
you can do like a line of these.
And then just add
when you look at this one, you see they can go like in this line. See, there's a line going like that, and then you just add stripes.
That's so fantastic. And this is where the fun starts. I mean, it's one thing, it's a lot of fun crocheting the flowers, but it is a lot of fun figuring out how you continue joining this as you go.
Normally, like when we do these things, we put all the flowers on the floor and just place them around, like place them where we like them. Sometimes there's like a system, sometimes there's not a system. It depends on the yarn and how many flowers you have in each color, but I like to put them on the floor in the right order, and then I take a picture. So when I start crocheting these flowers together, I have it on my phone.
Very good.
So I remember what I was thinking when I put them on the floor.
Very good tips. And then that's how you do this. We were aiming this tutorial at everybody who got the pattern and who have been knitting the flowers and who wanted to get crocheting the flowers and who wanted to get a little bit of a push and a little bit help joining them. We hope that we've explained the procedure clearly and that you understand a little bit more. Again, we cannot stress enough the importance. Sometimes you just need to throw that written pattern away and just forget about it for a little moment and just look at the chart and try to visualize it and try to understand what it looks like.
And I think you need the chart, because when we try to explain crocheting, we always mess up the language. So look at the chart, and look at the video and see how we do it, because it's very easy, and when you kind of into it, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's true. And now if you've been watching this tutorial thinking, oh, I haven't even started, I don't even have a pattern for this, and I don't understand what Arne is doing because I haven't even done a flower. So the solution is pretty easy. You can go to arnecarlos.com, you can select our web shop, and the pattern for this blanket called Astrid is available there. You can purchase it, download it, and start crocheting away, making those beautiful flowers in colors of your choice, and then joining them together in this quite efficient and super cool way. As always, things are always difficult when you start, but once you've crocheted a few flowers, once you've joined a few flowers, it is actually quite easy. Just look at the pattern.
It's addictive.
Yeah. Exactly, it's very addictive. So
it's like, my plan wasn't to have a new blanket, but now maybe
it looks like we may have to do one.
Have a grey one, because this is dark blue.
Yeah.
So maybe we make a grey blanket. No, I should stop.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is how you crochet them together. We hope it makes sense. I think that because we have that fantastic camera there, It's nice if we can just put this here and give everybody a moment to look at it and to see how these went together in 3 places. You've got picots on one side, and on the other side you did a single crochet inside the picot. And then once you crochet the edges on that one, you see how they will fit perfectly in there, like a jigsaw puzzle. Lots and lots of fun to get this together. You can start with 2 and then join in the 3rd and the 4th and the 5th and so on. And there you go.
And then you have a throw.
Yes. Yeah, very soon you have a really big throw. Now there's one more thing, Arne, that I would love you to give a tip on, because I know that a lot of people hate those loose ends.
Oh yeah, because like you like to sew in those.
I like to sew them in, but a lot of people hate it. Yeah. So do you have a tip?
Yeah, something like when you make a flower, when you finish a flower, you start on the opposite side when you do the next color, because this way you can actually crochet around the tail on the new color, and then when you come to the other side, you crochet around the last tail on the first color. So you wrap the colors in as you go.
So literally what you're saying is, if we're crocheting in this direction here, I just take that brown thread that is here,
and crochet
I put the brown thread there, and then I go here and I crochet over it.
Yeah.
And then all you need to do, because then you have the tail in, you can just cut it. And remember, if you decide to steam this or wash this, the thread on the inside is going to catch and it's not going to move anymore. Yeah. Very, very good tip. Very useful for everybody that hates weaving in ends. And I think, you know what, I'm now addicted too, so I'm going to start making one now that you explained it in a way that I understand as well. And very well, you know, very good job. I'm going to go print that chart. I'm going to look at that chart, I'm going to visualize it, and then I'm going to start making me
But if you didn't
flowers.
have that sheet with the symbols and what the symbols mean, you wouldn't have understand anything of
No, but the symbols are good and very important. But you know what? If you look at the chart long enough, it actually starts making a lot of sense. So we want to encourage people to look more and try to visualize it and see the whole thing instead of just reading those words. Those words, when you read them like that, they make no sense. And I think a lot of people, they get very confused, because when they read the instructions, they're actually trying to visualize it in their head, and they're going ahead of them. And sometimes you actually have to make it and read it at the same time to kind of understand. Yes. But with the chart, you don't have to do that. With the chart, you can see everything there.
It's right in front of you.
Yes. So with that said, Arne, we need some formalities in place.
Yeah. If you like our videos, put your thumbs up, and if you put on your notification, you will have a message every time there's a new video out, because sometimes it can be like on a Monday.
Yeah. And the best way to support us and our channel is if you become a subscriber. The more subscribers we have, the more YouTube helps us, and then the more episodes you get to enjoy here at arnecarlos.com. And remember, if you don't have the pattern, it's available at arnecarlos.com, select shop, and you can purchase it there. So, thank you so much for watching. We are looking forward to seeing you again, usually on Sundays, and also nowadays on Wednesdays, where we do our Sit and Knit for a Bit podcast. So, see you again very, very soon. Bye.